And here is our setup for the centripetal acceleration on a turntable lab. Yeah, it looks pretty weird and funky, but that's the best we can do with what we've got. We've got to get a calculator set up on the thing. Without the calculator, there's your accelerometer right there. Notice that the arrow, you can see that is pointed right there at the center of the turntable. That becomes a big deal. For part 1, this just simply stays in place looking like that. For part 2, you'll move the arrow accelerometer in, maybe move it into here or so, and then move it all the way back out to the edge, something like that. That would be the good thing to do. When you find the radius, measure from the middle out here to the center of the accelerometer. I think that's what it'll tell you to find the radius. If it tells you to go just to the center, then you can do that, but I'm pretty sure you want to go to the center of the accelerometer. Now, I'm going to have my trusty assistant Jordan again working with me, and he'll be kind of going through the calculator steps. So, here we go, Jordan. Let's make it happen. Alright, there's your graphic calculator. We'll kind of turn it in such a way that it's usable. Maybe. There we go. Okay, Jordan. Here you go, graphing calculator. First, you want to start by turning the calculator on. You can see it's blinking. We want to go to the Apps menu. And Data Mate, number 3. And it'll load Data Mate. And you want to have it, by the way, make sure it's plugged in. There you can see it. You want to make sure it's plugged in. Now, this one says dig motion. And we don't have a motion detector we want to deal with, so you may have to hit clear. And when you hit clear, it's resetting itself and may detect the new sensors and may not detect the new sensors. This one is not detecting the new sensors. So if yours does not detect the new sensors, you go to Setup, which is number 1. And we want to select channel 1 and hit Enter. And the type of sensor we are using is not on that list, so we want a number 7. And the very first one there says accelerometer, so select 1. And we want a number 1, or a low G accelerometer, so that's actually number 2. We want a number 2, a low G accelerometer. And there you can see it is setting up the channel. Cha-ching. Now, with everything off, we also want to 0 it. So hit 3 for 0. Make sure there's no motion. And hit 2 for all channels. And enter for zeroing it, and you can see that we're already really close to 0. And there's my new value. We go back to the main screen, and it shows that I have basically no acceleration, which is awesome. Okay, that's the first part, making sure you're set up correctly. Next part is where it gets a little trickier. You can see here that I start with this set at 33 RPM. So I start with 33. I can also go to 45, 78, and 16. We will not use the 16, but we'll use the 33, 45, and 78. So Jordan needs to now set up his triggering to work correctly. So again, go back to Setup, and he wants to choose Mode. So he goes up to select Mode, and where he's at, he wants to go to Time Graph. And then change time settings, which is number 2. And then enter number 1. Enter. 90. Enter. And now it's set it up to be a 90-second sample. Jackpot. Next, you want to select Advanced, which is number 3. We want to change the triggering. So number 3 again. And we want to select Manual Trigger, which is number 2. Manual Trigger, which is number 2. Then select OK, which is 1. OK, which is 1. And OK, which is 1. Now we're back. Now, on the main screen, select Start, which is number 2. And it beeps at you. And here's what it says. Remote data collection is set up. Press Start Stop button to collect data. Please wait until data collection is done. Choose the Tools option, then it tells you how to retrieve data. So he hits Enter. Next, the next thing we want to do is key, and I'm going to do this and then we'll start a new video. The next thing to do is to unplug the calculator. So Jordan, go ahead and unplug the calculator. And there we go. New video, ready to go. See you in a minute.